Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of our favorite guitar riff masters of all time. It's day 22, marching our way to number 30, because of course we've got 30 days here in the month of April. In 2023, we have picked out our 30 favorite riff masters of all time. Those guitar players that created those memorable guitar riffs that, generally speaking, lead off a song and oftentimes repeated throughout the song. And that's one of the main things we remember about the song, right? That guitar riff, that guitar lick, that little passage, that little pattern, that little progression, right? That just is so cool and so memorable. So we're celebrating a month-long love of riffs. That's what we're doing here each and every day. So, of course, as you've seen by the thumbnail, another dynamic duo today. They're both here on the shirt that I'm wearing. From Ireland's Thin Lizzy, I'm talking about Brian Robertson and Scott Gorham, right? So many great riffs and licks on those handful of Thin Lizzy albums that they worked on together. So many good ones. This was a really, really hard thing to pick here because, man, I could have done 10 of them easy, right? I mean, these guys made such magic together, and this is not to discount the great riffs that Scott Gorham worked on with Gary Moore, Snowy White, right? I mean, not to discount those at all, but for me, or even with John Sykes, but for me, the cream of the crop from the Thin Lizzy catalog are on those couple of albums that those two guys worked on together. So first, we're going to go, my first pick, I'm going to get two of them from this album. I could have done more from Jailbreak, right, from 1976. But I'm going to go with Warriors, which, quite frankly, has a lot of really cool riffs in the beginning of that song that repeat throughout the song, right? But, you know, whether you're just awesome stuff. A great guitar work in this song. Warriors is such a classic heavy song from this band that has some really intelligent guitar work. And this, we're not even going to get into the harmony leads and stuff that these guys do. I mean, that's even on another level, but the riffs are just great too. So I have to go with Warriors. And of course, one of my favorite riffs of all time, and certainly number one from Thin Lizzy, is the closer on this album, which is Emerald. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. It sounds so Irish. It's so heavy and serious sounding. I mean, Emerald is just, you know, it's amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. Love Emerald to death. Just so cool. And from there, again, so many good ones. I had a couple that I was kind of tossing around. One that I really wanted to pick, but then it's a kind of a weird one because it comes from an album where Scott Gorham basically played by himself with some help from Brian Robertson on a few tracks. And I was going to pick the title track, "The Bad Reputation," but that's all Scott. As great as it is, I could have picked it, right? Who cares? But I'm going to go with Massacre from Johnny the Fox. And Massacre's just great. It's tumultuous. It's really groovy and almost kind of funky, but in a heavy sort of way. And I just absolutely love Massacre. And, you know, you could arguably say that any of these riffs even sound better on the Live and Dangerous album from Thin Lizzy, the double live album. That's the album cover right there. But yeah, Massacre is so good. I mean, these guys were so amazing together, and, you know, most of the time dueling Les Pauls, right? So it's got that sound. It's funny because I was watching the Bad Reputation video that they shot a little while ago, and actually Brian is playing a Strat in that, and I'm kind of like, I hadn't seen that in a while. I'm like, yeah, that just doesn't look right. Brian Robertson should be playing a Gibson Les Paul. Is just what it comes down to, right? A Sunburst Les Paul. Just that's what he generally plays, or even a black one. I've seen him playing in black ones quite a bit too. So yeah, those are my picks for the great duo of Brian Robertson and Scott Gorham. We're gonna go with Warriors, Emerald, and Massacre from these two albums. Man, yeah, I could have picked Jailbreak. I mean, Cowboy Song has a terrific riff on it, right? I absolutely love Boogie Woogie Dance from this album. It's so good. So many good ones. There's really no bad answer for Thin Lizzy at all. So yeah, if you want to play along with my picks, list your 3 favorite riffs from the mighty Thin Lizzy in the comments below. But also, we want to hear your pick for today. day 22, who your player is and who your 3 favorite riffs are. So we don't have too much time left in the month. It's a little over a week. So we'll keep on going till we march into May. We'll be playing a completely different game. So May, we're gonna go with an idea from one of our viewers, and this is going to be difficult. I haven't even started with my list yet, but I am going to count down each and every day in May. I am going to count down my favorite albums, favorite 31, because I think there's 31 days in May, right? Correct? Should be. I will check that as we speak right now. Hold on a second. Pretty sure it's 30. Actually, 30. No, I'm sorry. 31, yes, so 31 days in May. I'm going to count down my 31 favorite heavy metal albums, hard rock and heavy metal albums of the 80s. So that will be very, very interesting because, of course, a lot of great hard rock and heavy metal albums in the 80s. So yeah, I'll be doing that. That's what's coming up in May. In June, I think there are 30 days in June, I'm going to count down my 30 favorite prog albums of the 70s. Another ridiculously Herculean task, right? So, and then we'll move into, I think I mentioned I'm probably going to do my favorite lead guitar players, right? Those guys that I love them mainly for their guitar solos, and I'll be doing kind of like I did this month, and I'll be picking my 3 favorite guitar solos from each of those players, and that'll be really interesting because there's going to be guitar players that I love to death that aren't going to make it onto this riff show because I kind of like them more for their solos, their leads, than I do for the riffs, right? They're more notable for that. So, but there's going to be folks that are going to show up on both, right? That's the way it goes. So yeah. So start thinking about that. Got a couple months to go till then, but also if you want to play along with next month with favorite hard rock and metal albums of the 80s, and then if you prefer the prog thing coming up in June, start putting together your list of your 30 favorite prog albums of the 70s, and I will be doing those in order. All right, so that's why it's going to be so difficult. I'm not just going to throw out random albums. I'm gonna put them in my order of preference. So we're going to go from like number 31 all the way to number 1, and vice versa. For the prog one. So yeah, so that's coming up next month and in June. So thanks for watching, everybody. It's Thin Lizzy Day here on Favorite Guitar, Riff-Masters of all time. So let us know your favorite down in the comment below for today. And this is on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as it posts. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we've got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations as well as our merch page. So thanks for watching, everybody. I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you in just a couple hours for the UK connection, as we are talking about our favorite and least favorite albums from Germany's Accept. And then tomorrow, a little bit of a programming change in case you guys didn't see the note I posted here in the community tab. The Danzig episode that I was going to do with Chris Allo will actually be happening a week from tomorrow. So Chris had a couple things going on, and we've had to reschedule that. So tomorrow you'll be getting me ranking the fairly short catalog of great New York thrashers, Toxic. That's coming up tomorrow. I've been wanting to get to that anyway, so that's on real short notice. That's a quick one I can do, so that'll be happening tomorrow. And then, of course, we got the Hudson Valley Squares coming up on Monday. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, but see you real soon here on the channel. And tune in tomorrow for another Guitar Riff Master. Take care. Bye-bye.